change of seating from 18 seats to 50, and the operation will remain the same. Is there someone here from El Paso Enchiladas? Yes, sir, if you could step up to the podium, please, and give us your name and address for the record.
Yeah, good afternoon after everything. My name is Ahmed Giyad. I live in 87 Douglas Street in Revere.
Thank you, sir. And you are going to increase the seating to 50?
Yeah.
You gotten your approvals from occupancy?
Yes.
Very
I
good.
already have it.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any questions?
No, I have no questions. I reviewed the application. I reviewed, it seems like everything is in order. No questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I will close that section of the hearing, and I'll open it up to any proponents. Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of this change in seating? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the seating change for Algiers Place? I don't see or hear anybody. I will close that section. We can open it up to a general discussion, or if you'd like to make a motion.
I move to approve the application as is.
Very good. I will second that approval. The application for a change of seating for Algiers Place, El Paso Enchiladas LLC, from 18 to 50 has been approved. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Item number 2, excuse me. Fair Price Market, Inc., 1470 North Shore Road. Abdelkader Fadel is the president and manager. This is an application for a common victualer's license. The license is to be exercised at 1470 North Shore Road for preparation and service of sandwiches at a convenience store. Your requested hours of operation are going to be Sunday through Saturday.
Correct.
From 6 a.m. until 12 a.m.
Correct.
And you don't want any seating?
No seating.
No seating. Very good. Sir, can you just explain what it is you want to do at this location?
It's just a takeout place. It's sandwiches and takeout.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you going to be preparing food on the premises and selling it to take out?
Correct, yep.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioner, do you have any questions?
Just one, and you have all your approvals from the necessary departments?
Correct, yes, sir.
Inspections are in order and everything?
Correct, yes, sir.
I have no further questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. We'll close this section of the hearing. We'll open it up to any proponents. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the common victualer's license to be issued to Fair Price Market? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the approval of this license? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Motion on general discussion on this, Commissioner?
I'd move to approve the application for a common vicular's license.
Very good. I will second that approval and say that the application for a common victualer's license for Fair Price Market is approved.
Thank you.
Your application will be exercised at 1470 North Shore Road for preparation and service of sandwiches at a convenience store. And your hours of operation are as you requested, Sunday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 12 a.m., and you will have no seating.
Correct.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Bless you. Item number 3, Revere Restaurant Group E, Inc., DBA Tio Juan Margarita's Mexican Restaurant, 85 American Legion Highway. Sean M. Casey is the manager. This is an application for an alteration of premises and a change of license type. The application for the alteration of premises to renovate and expand the licensed premises and a change of license type from an all-alcohol restaurant to an all-alcohol in-holder license. The name and address for the record, please.
85 American Legion Highway.
And your name?
Oh, my name is Sean. Sean Casey, thank you.
Very good. And what are your plans for this location, sir?
We're getting an expansion with obviously, we're located in the hotel. So we're just looking to expand our renovation a little bit into the hotel's premises.
Okay. And I see that you want to change the license, what is that about?
So we're creating a fire door in the entry of the lobby to the restaurant, and people so that they can go into the lobby or take drinks to their rooms from the hotel, from the restaurant.
Very good. So the people will be allowed to go and take the drinks back to their room? Is that what?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. I don't have any other questions. Do you have any questions, Commissioner?
Are you guys intending to put any additional measures in place to ensure that drinks aren't actually leaving the premises out the other way, or?
Sure, we've been following the stricter guidelines this entire time, so, we're gonna keep the alcohol service in place. Everybody's Serve Safe certified. We do have a manager located at the, we have managers zoned in every aspect of the restaurant, so no one can really leave the premises without, properly sealed alcoholic beverage.
And there's security 24 hours in the hotel end.
Oh,
They
nice.
have someone on
Right.
staff 24 hours.
I have no further questions.
Very good. Thank you very much. I'll close this section of the hearing. Is there any proponents? Anybody in support of this application? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Any opponents? Anybody opposed to this issuance of the alteration of premises or change of license type? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. We can open up for a general discussion, or
I'd move to approve the application of Tijuana's Margarita Mexican Restaurant for alteration of premises and change of license type.
very good. I will second that
Thank you.
approval.
Good luck, guys.
And say that the application for the change of premises, alteration of premises and change of license type for Revere Restaurant Group, DBA Tio Juan Margarita's Mexican Restaurant, for the alteration of premises and renovate to expand the licensed premises, and a change of license type from all alcohol restaurant to all alcohol inn holder is approved. Thank you very much. Item number 4, MFRP Corp., DBA The Squire, 640 Squire Road. Peter DePizer is the manager. This is an application for an alteration of premises. The application of MFRP Corp. For an alteration of premises to renovate and rearrange spaces within the licensed premises. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
Peter DePiza, 604 Squire Road.
Thank you very much, sir. Can you tell us what's going on at the Squire?
Everything's going good. We're just looking to move, it hasn't been renovated since 1994, so just moving a room from the right side of the building to the left side of the building.
The right side of the building to the left side of the building?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm looking at your floor plan, and
Yes.
I see that you have the entryway, and we have these circles. Is this the area that we're talking about?
Yes, to the left. As soon as you walk through the front door, to the left,
Yes.
we're moving the champagne room right there.
Okay.
Instead of the back of the building, it's going to move to the front of the building.
Okay. So that had been in the back, and now that's coming to the front?
Correct.
And the area that you have labeled single dance, what's that?
That's what I call the champagne room.
Okay. So is that also being renovated, or how is that working?
Which one you looking at?
The one in the back, that's in the back now?
Yes, that's just going to stay the same.
Okay,
No additional seating is happening. It's going to be
All
the
right.
same amount of seating.
very good. Thank you.
We're just
very much.
updating it, that's all.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that. Do you have any questions, Commissioner?
I don't. I reviewed the application in its entirety. It's in order. I have no questions.
Very good. Thank you. We'll close this section. Any proponents or anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the application for the alteration of premises of the Squire? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the alteration of premises? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Would you like to have a discussion or a motion?
No discussion. I'd move to approve the Squire's application for alteration of premises.
Very good. I will second that approval. Sir, your application for the alteration of premises of MFRP Corp., DBA The Squire, for an alteration of premises to renovate and rearrange spaces within the licensed premises is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Good luck.
Item number 5, North Shore Road Donuts, Inc. Actually, item number 5, we're gonna take in, there are 3 entities that are being discussed. Are you prepared to discuss all 3?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Then we'll take them all at once, okay?
Perfect.
Are you all set with that,
Oh, yeah,
Commissioner?
absolutely.
Very good. So the item number 5 has North Shore Road Donuts LLC, DBA Dunkin' Donuts, Revere Donuts LLC, DBA Dunkin' Donuts, and Lee Burbank Donuts LLC, DBA Dunkin' Donuts. These 3 Dunkin' Donuts are being transferred, the common victualer's license for these are being transferred to Nilesh Patel LLC, the manager, for a transfer of these licenses. And these are going to be exercised, the first one is exercised at Beachmont Train Station, 1 Bennington Street. The second is on North Shore Road, where the wharf is, next to the Wharf Restaurant. And the third is on Lee Burbank Highway, and that's at a gas station. What station is that?
Shell gas station?
The Shell gas station. So those are the 3 Dunkin' Donuts. Very good. What are your plans for these, sir? Are you going to keep them as they are, or?
Yeah, we just recently acquired those locations back in August 2021. So it's been about 5 to 6 months, and just upon the renewal of the year, it's due for renewal and then, excuse me, transfer of the licenses.
Very
So
good.
We are a growing group of franchisee of Dunkin' Donuts in the state of Massachusetts. So as we keep acquiring more Dunkin' Donuts, the plan is to keep them, keep all the employees, and just keep growing within the area.
Well, thank you. Very good luck with that.
And sir, did you state your name and address for the record?
My name is Raj Patel. I'm one of the owners for those locations.
Thank you. And what, your address?
My home address is 2239 Washington Street, Unit 204, Canton, Massachusetts,
Thank you.
02026.
Thank you. I have no
Any
questions.
other questions?
Nope.
Very good. We'll close this part of the hearing. Any proponents or anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the transfer of these common victuals licenses? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the transfer of these 3 common victuals licenses? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Discussion and/or a motion?
No
Commissioner?
discussion. I would move to approve the 3 separate applications for a common vicular license, transferring it to Nilesh Patel. Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, Nilesh Patel.
Perfect. As is.
Very good.
Thank you.
I would second that motion. Your application for a transfer of the common victuals license of North Shore Road Donuts LLC, Revere Donuts LLC, Lee Burbank Donuts LLC has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Have a good day.
You too.
Item number 6, Nehan Group, Inc., DBA Cash Point, 7C Everett Street. Mara Hananyan is the president. This is an application for a pawnbroker's license.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Counsel.
Chairman and Commissioners. James Cipolletta, 385 Broadway, Revere, on behalf of the applicant. The applicant came before this commission a number of years ago when they decided to expand their operation of buying and selling, and they have 5 locations in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So it had to be back before 2010 when they came here to the commission and were granted a license to operate. They've been operating down at Bell Circle. They initially had a facility over by the Dunkin' Donuts there on Broadway, on that end of the Broadway, on this odd-numbered side, and then they moved over to the Bell Circle Mall there on Everett Street. During the course of their operation in the city of Revere, short of having a pawn license, which they were not at that time practicing, my information is that their books were impeccable. They had no complaints against them. They did not have to be called before the commission on any violations or allegations of violation. What they want to do at this juncture is to upgrade their operation to a pawn license. And I would ask leave respectfully of the chairman to ask the president to more articulately and specifically convey to the commission just how this operation is going to be operated, what the paperwork flow is, what his understanding is, and what the controls on the operation of the pawn license should the commission be disposed to grant it. So if the commissioner, chairman would grant leave, that I would ask the president to. Thank you, sir.
Sure, thank you, Counselor.
Good afternoon. My name is Marat Hunanian. I live at 46 Briar Patch Road in Osterville, Massachusetts. So we've been operating this location since 2015, and we basically have a second-hand dealer's license, also known as junk dealer's license, and we can only buy and sell, which we're okay with. But recently, starting COVID 2020, we have been asked many times by our customers to, instead of sell something to us, they would like to pawn.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had that before also, but it wasn't that much. Now it's getting so much that probably every day we have to explain them that we don't have a license to do it. And it's just basically public demand. I am aware of all the town bylaws, what we're supposed to do, how to keep the records. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any questions, Commissioner Osina?
Just a couple. So you've been at this location for 6 years, but this is the first time you're trying to venture out into the pawn industry?
We are not changing, we are not moving. We would still like to keep the second-hand dealer's license. We are applying for pawnbroker's license, so we can basically take the customer's item, hold on to it until he's ready to pick it up.
Is it your intention to bring in anyone with experience in that area, or you verse yourself on the necessary?
I consider myself having the experience because I do have a pawnbroker store in Beverly, Massachusetts. We also have 3 other stores in Massachusetts, so I think I am aware of all the bylaws, all the interest rates, hold periods, everything.
Good. Satisfied, thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much, sir. We will close this section of the hearing. Open it up to any proponents. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the issuance of the pawnbroker's license to the Nyan Group, Inc.? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Is anybody opposed to the issuance of this license? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. We can open up to a general discussion and/or a motion. Commissioner?
Oh, sorry. I'd move to approve the application for a pawnbroker's license put forth by Nylon Group Incorporated, deemed the business as Cash Point.
Thank you very much. I would second that, and that application is approved. Thank you very much.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you very much.
The application for Nyan Group, Inc., for a pawnbroker's license to be exercised at 7C Everett Street. Requested hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That license is approved. Thank you. Item number 7, Rockwell Realty Trust, 1380 North Shore Road. Gene Geary is the trustee. This is an application for a change of number of spaces for a parking lot license. The application of Rockwell Realty Trust for a change in the number of available parking spaces from 45 to 30. A name and address for the record, please.
Yep, it's Jean Geary. My home address for Rockwell. My home is 138 Marble Road, Salem, Mass.
Thank you.
Sure.
And can you explain what it is that you'd like to do here?
Just, we're applying for just less spaces right now just because of the lack of commuters going into Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but with the assumption that if we get busier, then we will increase, we'll be requesting to increase our spaces.
Very good. Do you have any questions, Commissioner?
I do. So I received your letter here to the commission dated January 4th, 2022.
Correct.
And in the letter, you indicated that you had a conversation with your business partner, Walter Gary, is that correct?
Right, yes.
What did that entail in terms of the decision? Because obviously you were before the commission in December. We indicated that we would grant you permission essentially to,
For 25,
for,
right.
yeah, 20 to 25.
Right.
So what went into that conversation that changed it to 30?
Well, there were a couple things. After speaking with you guys in December, we went back and we kind of talked about it, and more than willing to ask for an increase. But instead of having to come, I believe that maybe the increase will come in the spring, like we'll say March. Usually December and February, you have a lot of snowstorms, et cetera, so no. But, so instead of us having to increase right away, because I knew that we were hovering around that 25 mark, and if I was going to go over to the 30, then I wanted to make sure that I was covered. And hopefully, like I said, in the spring, we kind of figured, all right, well, in the spring, we might be able to jump back up to 45. So that's we just kind of were looking at the trend, I guess, of the weather more than anything, so.
So my issue is, and this is not necessarily with Rockwell Realty Trust per se as it operates its lot, but more so generally speaking with the way that this is somewhat run, is that it really just depends and relies on the owners to, be as forthcoming as possible when it comes to their applications and how many spaces that they, just pay. But the way that the system is designed, that if your lot has 60, how many spaces your lot has? 60?
60.
60 spaces, technically you're supposed to pay for 60 spaces. And the issue I have with your application is, and you have a lot here, as I was able to personally observe on several different occasions, you have a certain subset of cars that are being stored on your property, that it doesn't seem like they're ever being moved, but their space is being occupied every single day. And you also have a certain subset of spaces that you rent out on a daily basis, from what I understand, speaking to the various owners that abut your business, that have told me that you charge them $5 a day. Sometimes you'll give them a break for the week if the car is intended to be there for the week. So it's this kind of arbitrarily deciding that, well, you guys said we can do 20 to 25, but we're deciding to do 30. It really should be 60.
Yeah.
And on the week of Christmas, when I was able to observe your lot on 3 separate occasions leading up to Christmas Day, there was an average of 35 cars in a lot that I was able to confirm were paying. I was also able to confirm that there was about 10 to 15 vehicles stored there that were not moved from the time that I observed it that whole week. So here we have an application before us where you're kind of, again, arbitrarily saying, oh, I'll pay for 30, when the application should really be for 60. And I'm not saying that you had 60 cars that were paying on the lot that week, but I think it speaks to the overall issue that I raised to my fellow commissioners, that there's really no oversight when it comes to this, and obviously that speaks to a bigger issue. So I'm not necessarily going to challenge your application today, and if you are representing on record that 30 is a good faith number that you believe on average that you have and that you're willing to pay, I trust that when that number changes or when your application is up for renewal, there's a true measuring tool there for you to be able to tell us and say, look, if I look at 2022, this is on average what we do, so we have a better number. I guess that was the main issue of my issue with your application. It's just kind of arbitrarily being decided how much you're going to pay for. So I just want it noted on the record, and hopefully when this application is up for renewal again, or when you come forward to, you'll have a better measuring tool to figure out exactly how many on average cars you should be able to pay for in your lot.
Right. Thank you. There is one thing I did want to say about the stored cars that you say. They actually do, they're really kind of, I know that you spoke with someone because they told me, one of my neighbors. And what they do is they kind of wait there until they're worked on. You know, and that was just kind of to supplement our income until the commuters increased.
Right.
So in all honesty, they might rotate or different car or whatever, but for the most part, they do come and go. And you're right, I do give them a break, especially my neighbor directly next to me. You're right, I agree, 100% with that. Even the red truck that's a food truck, he goes out every night. You wouldn't see that, but he goes out every night.
Right.
So, and it's just really, I prefer to actually have the commuters, to be honest with you. I would like to not have any cars. It makes the place look bad, as far as I'm concerned, right? So I would rather have my commuters anyway. But yes, I have promised that as we increase, then I'm more than happy to ask for more spaces. One of the things I came to you guys in December for was that I actually wasn't looking for a change in spaces at that point. I was just really looking for a reduction in the license charge. And per the commissioner and chairman, they didn't feel that that was the way to go. And so that was it. So you kind of almost caught me off guard when you said that, when you had suggested that in December. So that's when I had to go back and I had to think about that, because I wasn't expecting a number change. I was expecting a monetary change, or that's what I was hoping. I shouldn't say expecting, I was hoping for. So you're right, again, you are correct. And then the last thing I just want to address is that we really do not have a lot of cars on the weekend because we don't have commuters. So I might have those cars that are down the end, but I have no one else. Or maybe one commuter, And then holidays too. On holidays, like this past Monday, I counted 10, and that was from the end. You know what I mean? And so I just want you to know that, as I said to you before, if I go above by a couple, I almost feel like it's because sometimes I'm less than a couple, and then sometimes I have none. So I kind of felt that that was a wash. So I wasn't trying to cheat the system. I really was just trying to get a reduction in the rent at that point, just because it's still so precarious out there with people still not commuting into Boston. So that was really why I had asked for that. So that also led to the conversation with my business partner. So that's it, really. I appreciate anything that you can do for me at this point. I've been working with you for a long time, in the city for a long time, since my dad died in '93. So still trying to just stay in good standing.
Yeah, and I think, no one wants to put you out of business, but by the same token, we have to be fair to the other lot people as well, so that,
Right.
What we do for one, we probably should do for others. But you are in a unique situation in that it is a commuter lot. You are the only commuter lot in the city, so,
Right.
I think in all of our parking situations, there is a level of good faith that we place in the lot holders. A lot of these lot numbers for park and flies and for other parking situations are an arbitrary number. And so you come in and apply for a number, and then we hope that you are sticking to that number. Now, we do have inspectors that go out, but there is a full plate of things to inspect. So, it comes down to hoping and expecting that the lot owner will have the integrity to pay their fair share.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that, anybody is looking to make you pay for things you're not getting. But by the same token, there is a level of fairness that needs to be across the board. So, I don't have a problem reducing this parking space situation to 30. I think you have shown to be a person of integrity, and we would assume that you're going to keep that. And if
Absolutely.
things get better, I assume that you're going to come in and ask for an increase.
I am a painfully an honest person, so if you don't know anything about me, you can know that. I value that. So my question is, and this is my only question, is that, so let's say in the spring, things do turn around a little bit, and maybe you don't have the the threat of this Omicron virus as much as we do, and people are starting to go back to work, then what do I need to do? What is the step that I need to do to increase my parking spaces?
Well, I guess you'd let us know, and then we would schedule something like this, and we'd
Okay.
come in and do this again. And we would increase it, to whatever level you thought you could sustain.
Great. That would be great. Then
Right.
that's what I will do.
But I think it's important, as I mentioned in my initial statement, that, instead of rushing in the spring after seeing an increase, try to get a good average, because the last thing, and I could probably speak for everyone on the commission, we don't want applications every 6 months.
Believe me, one license is good. I agree,
So,
100%.
I think that if you can get a good working number as an average, like you said, give or take, and what that is over the span of a year, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then when you come back in December, or when you put something else in at the end of the year, you can say, you know what, this is a good faith number, give or take what I'm averaging for the year.
Right.
And let's stick to that, so it's not a repeated thing.
Truly, I agree with you 100%, 100. There is nothing more than I want to do, less than appear in front of you. Really. I think it's, and I've actually appeared very limited times. I really have never really changed my number until recently, and that was really only because of this. As you know, I've been at the same for years and years and years and whatever, so I just want you to know, I don't want to be here either. It's all good.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll close this section, open it up for any proponents. Anybody want to speak on behalf of the change of number of spaces for the parking lot license for Rockwell Realty Trust? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the change of number of spaces? You don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. General discussion and/or a motion?
I'd certainly put forth a motion to approve the application of Rockwell Realty Trust for an application for a change of number of spaces for parking lot license.
Very good. Thank you very much. I will
you.
second that. Your application is approved.
Thank you, gentlemen.
No problem.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot,
The
Chief.
application for a change of number of spaces for a parking lot license for Rockwell Realty Trust for a change in the number of available parking spaces to 30 from 45. Thank you very much. Item number 8 is that continued?
Continue.
That'll be continued till our next meeting. Item number 9, Four Partners, Inc., DBA Antonius at the Beach, 492 Revere Beach Boulevard. Rodrigo Angulo, manager. This is a board discussion concerning the denial of the renewal of this license in light of recent filings. Gentlemen, name and address for the record, please.
Sir, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members. James Cipolletta, 385 Broadway, Revere. With me is Fernando, and he is one of the principals, and I believe he's been dealing with the commission over the last number of months. And I certainly appreciate the difficulty that the commission has had trying to wade through a lot of the paperwork or lack thereof. I don't really need to go into the background of the corporation and all of the inside baseball difficulties that may have existed in and amongst the owners and the stockholders and so forth. I think it boiled down to a couple of different things, maybe 3. One is that we needed to change the stockholders and beneficial interest owners in order to come into compliance with 50% or more of those being citizens. That's been done. That paperwork has been filed. Maggie's been incredibly helpful and patient through that process. The other is that there is a change of manager pending as well. We have filed that. Jezebel's here. She is the proposed manager, and I know that's not before the commission today, but that paperwork is in order as well. The officers and directors and all the corporate reorganization has been done. It's been recorded at the Secretary of State's office. That should be in perfect order as well. There were a few things that were lagging behind. Sometimes these things do take time. In this instance, it took a little more time than had been expected, and I think the last piece of paper that was due was a certificate of good standing from Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Again, not to get to the, the backstory of that, there were some taxes owed, those have been paid. And so he was able to obtain a certificate of good standing from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, albeit after the last meeting that the commission had. And I know the commission gave a deadline of 31 December. I think he may have got it in just under the wire, or maybe just after, but in any event, he did. I think, and I looked at the number of things that the commission had requested. I put it next to the list of the ABCC mandates, and all of those things, although you're not voting on that today, and the ABCC won't take it up until after sometime in the future, it's my view that all of those things are in order. The queries are good, the manager's background is good, the stockholders and the beneficial interest holders are good. Fernando closed right around midnight at the end of December 2021. I am aware of a police report that came in a little bit after January 1st, that there was some sort of and we may as well just address it now because I know it will come up, that there was a police call for service to go down there because some woman was yelling at somebody else about her nephew or whatever it was. Because a lot of what we've been doing has to do with ABCC and the Revere License Commission and having to do with alcohol, it kind of slipped through that, and Fernando didn't understand that he could not do the food to go part of his business. That we never talked about it. We've had discussions, and it's always been aimed toward what's been required under the Massachusetts general laws with respect to an alcohol license, and in dealing with the alcohol license here as well as the ABCC stuff. He didn't understand that on that particular day. He was open, and this commission sent somebody down and told him he needed to close. He closed. I believe it was an honest mistake. He spoke to me about it. I conveyed it to the clerk secretary of the commission. He's been closed. There was a kind of an interesting event that happened on that day, whereas I think the commission is pretty well aware of what the neighborhood looks like down there, where Antonia's is there, and then there's some other houses and buildings that are almost part of that little small community. And he was making some food and selling out the door. You can pick it up and you can come and get it. Neighbor asked him, she had spent some pretty good money at a butcher shop to go and buy some good cut of steak, and asked him if he'd cook it for her. And it was she who was sort of either observing or may have been peripherally involved in whatever the shouting match was that happened at the facility. And she's here as well to explain if there were any questions about that. Certainly Fernando didn't mean to offend against what he didn't understand was an expired food license. He's had all of the inspections. The food people, the Board of Health, and everybody has signed off on it. He's been closed, so he is closed. And I know, and I've been around, I've been up here a lot in the number of years I've been practicing, and I've heard a lot of stories. I've sat on the other side of the table as a board commissioner, and I've heard some stories too. I had a full and frank discussion with Fernando. I know the chairman has the ability and the authority to put him under oath. He'll tell you what happened. He'll tell you his story, that this was not a flagrant or otherwise purposeful offense against anything that that were the terms of his license or an order of this commission. And I don't ask clients to go under oath a lot, but I think it's important if the commission thinks that it would carry some weight. I would have no problem with the chairman putting him under oath and having him, tell it like it is.
Well, you don't think do you think that's necessary?
No, that's not necessary.
Okay. I mean, that's just how strongly we feel about it.
Yeah, that's not necessary. I think for me, and I can't speak for the chairman, but I certainly for me, we've said this to your client on several occasions, and as you know, we learned, law school 101, the ignorance of the law is certainly no defense,
Right.
right? So he needs to have someone there on site that knows what he's supposed to do and and I think one of the common things that we've said to Fernando over the last, 6 or 7 months or so is like, we just don't want the story, just do the right thing, and, it is what it is. And like you said, unfortunately, I mean, the necessary paperwork might have came in, right after we made that decision, and, we were, trying to avoid you even having to appear today to see if we could just approve it without, so procedurally, it presented a little bit of an issue for us. But, everything seems to be in order, and I'm happy, and I'm excited for Antonia's to be opened again. I dine there myself, so it's not like, I want them to be open. I want Fernando to succeed. It, certainly ain't nothing against the restaurant itself. So if all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, I'm good. But we don't want the story. We just want them to just do the right thing, operate under the guise of the law, and just do the right thing. That's my whole thing.
I would echo my fellow commissioners' sentiments. No one really wants to hurt Fernando or the business. But there is, as you know, Counselor, there is a level of protection that the city needs. And in order to be protected, the paperwork and the documents and the filings need to be in order. And that was my particular bone of contention, was that we needed to get this stuff in order. And now that I've been assured that it is in order, I have no problem at all with Fernando opening and being successful. I mean, that's what we have long hoped for. And like my fellow commissioner said, just do the right thing, and we should be fine. I mean, I don't know what else I could say about it other than that.
Point well taken.
So is there an appeal pending right now, Maggie, in front of the AB? So how do we, because like I said, the basis of our denial before was just that, and then he was only missing the DOR response, which he got now, right? So what could we do? I don't know if we need to take it an advisement.
Well, we can approve the renewal,
Right, okay.
and which is what I would.
Right, and then I would
put a
withdraw
motion
the
to
appeal.
approve the renewal going forward.
Right.
And that would be that. That's the only, our only option really, other than either to approve it or not approve it.
It was for the common vicular license?
I beg your pardon?
What license were we?
Would be approving the all alcohol restaurant license, common victular, and just allow him to go forward as if we had approved it on day one.
Okay.
So he would be allowed to go forward from this point forward, and whatever he has before the ABCC, they would have to resolve.
They'll just resolve it,
They'll
okay.
resolve.
Right, I can withdraw that appeal, because it would be moot by
It'll
that.
be moot at that point,
Right.
right. So I'd move to approve
Very good.
the renewal from Antonia's as it was presented back in December.
I would second that, and I would also move to approve that. Is there anything else that you'd like to say? You want to talk us out of it?
No, I learned very early on, as my learned colleague here says, once if you sold something, don't buy it back.
There you go.
Okay, very good. Well, your application, your renewal is approved.
Good luck, Fernando.
Good luck, Fernando.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for my comment.
Well, if they want to come up and speak, they can feel free.
It's not necessary.
So you have a lot of managers now, right now.
That's awesome. Good luck to you guys. Hope
Good luck.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next items on the agenda are communications. The Malcolm,
He wants to say,
oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Come on, step right up to the podium, sir.
go for it. And just identify yourself, please.
My name is Cliff Tettle.
I'm sorry, speak into the microphone, your name and address for the record.
My name is Clifford Tettle,
Yes, sir.
and I've worked for Fernando and known for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to tell you that I found him, he's always been a gentleman to me, and I see how he treats his employees. He treats them very fairly, and they all love him, and I just wanted to say,
Well, thank you very much, sir. We
let you know
appreciate that, and I'm sure Fernando does as well. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you. Oh, sure.
Yes. Your name and address for the record, please.
Jerry Holt, I live at 510 Riviera Beach Boulevard. next to Fernando's. I've just retired from the federal government after serving 45 years, and I just want to say I've been going into Fernando's I used to work there about 40 years ago when it was the Driftwood.
Yeah.
So I've been there many times. I've never had a problem there. It's always been professional. And I just feel as a small minority business, it's our job to keep them in business.
100%.
And promote small businesses, because that's what this community is all about, is giving especially the minority-owned businesses a chance. So I appreciate all you guys have done to help him, and I hope we continue on the same path.
100%.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Does anybody else like to say anything?
All set.
I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close this section. We'll move to communications. The Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission approved an application of Revere Restaurant Group, Inc., TO1 Margarita's Mexican Restaurant for a change of manager. The ABCC notice of hearing for an appeal of Four Partners, Inc., Antonia's at the Beach, appealing the denial of renewal of license, which has kind of been dealt with. The next items are license renewals. They're listed on the website, and all of the licenses that are listed are to be renewed. There is one that I would like to take. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. We have a couple temporary certificates of MFRP Corp. And White Label LLC, Easy Pie. Their temporary certificates of inspection were extended through April, till April 30th, so their extension of temporary renewals will be parallel with those and will also go until April 30th. The next items are the various licenses. The one item that we would like to deal with is Sadhguru Hotel, LLC, DBA Quality Inn, 100 Morris Street. I would like to have that entity come in and explain what their plans are going forward.
Right.
And I think that the city needs to know what they are planning to do, what the license is about, what they're planning to do with their property.
Is that up on Route 1?
Yes. All
Uh-huh.
right, so I would ask that we hold that one in abeyance and bring in the people from Quality Inn to discuss their plans going forward.
I would agree with that.
Very good. And that will take care of the items on the list. Counselor, do you have something that you wanted to bring to our attention?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Councilor Richard Serino, Ward 6, 50 Carlson Ave. You actually took the words out of my mouth. I was coming to speak in opposition to the renewal of the Quality Inn's licenses. I look forward to hopefully the next meeting that they'll come in and we can have a discussion about the future of that site.
Thank you very much,
thank you,
Counselor. That concludes today's agenda. Is there anything that you would like to discuss, Commissioner Osina?
No, I'd move to adjourn. I don't know if I can do that, but
Yes.
I'd move to adjourn at this point.
I would second that movement to adjourn, and we would adjourn until February 17th?
16.
Oh, I'm sorry, 16th, 2022.
22, in person.
Thank you very much, and this meeting is adjourned.